Hi all, I'm Jack from Quilting Dreams. Today I have the Sew Sampler box. I haven't opened it yet, received it in the mail last night. This is my happy mail every month. I look forward to receiving the Fat Quarter Shop Sew Sampler box every month, and I'm pretty excited to have a look at this month's as well. I live in Australia, South Australia, so I'm a little bit further away and it does take a little bit longer to get to us, but today we're going to have a look at what's in the Sew Sampler box and we're going to put the Pieceful Baskets block together for July. So let's get started. Okay, so what do we have in the July Sew Sampler box? So we're just going to open the box there, and we have Playful Summer July 2024, and inside that there's a 20% off one order promo code. Every month you get a bit of a promo code, and there's a charm back Crispies quilt pattern, which actually looks really quite cute, so it's certainly something worthwhile to have a look at. Generally what happens just lately is that you'll get the pattern with the box, and then there's generally another pattern on the back of this the topper for the box. So let's have a look a little bit further. Okay, you got the Sew Sampler. This just tells you everything that's in it, so you can go through that and get some more detail about how to use certain items and what the items are. So that's pretty good. And this month we have a little bag. How cute's that? Oh, this be good for my. Let's just pop that out the way. Be nice, good for my scraps. I like the colour, so this blends in with a lot of the things in my room, so I reckon that could easily be used as a scraps or just carrying a nice little bit of fabric. So we'll just pop that one aside. I do like that very much. What else do we have in here? Oh, it's the glue that this is the glue that I use, but I've got a different outside that I use for my English paper piecing, and I know a lot of people use the glue for other things as well. So this is from Shoreline. Very handy. You'll certainly enjoy this one. And then there's the Sew Sampler 100. This one here, I have the Jolly. Oh, let's just reach over. So this is the Jolly Box one from a little while ago, and you can see I have it on my table and I use it on a daily basis. So this one here, and I love the colour of this. I think this is incredible, so I'll definitely be looking at using this one here as well. Very cute, I like it. Okay, so Woven Stars Quilt Block Foundation Paper. This makes 4-inch blocks. This is from It's So Emma, so that's the one of Kimberly Jolly's companies. 42 sheets per pad, so that will be pretty exciting. Let's have a look here. Oh yes, okay. I'm looking forward to giving that a go, that's for sure. Then the fabric, how cute is this? We have 30s Playtime. And we have the charm packs, the 5-inch square charm packs by Lindsay Cole McRae. These look really quite cute. Let's have very flowery, very flowery. Some lovely colours in here. Not something I would pick, but definitely looking forward to giving it a go. Yeah. That's very cute. I love it when I get the fabric in the Sew Sampler box, because I'm so used to just working with a few different designers that I really love. This really does give me that opportunity to do something different, and this one's no different. I'm actually really excited about this one. Then we've got the pattern that comes every month. This is a table runner pattern, so the finished size is 16.5 by 64.5. I'm not sure that I would make this because I don't really use table runners, so I'll definitely be looking at how I can use this fabric in something else. So that's exciting. I'm really excited. I love this fabric. Not sure about the table runner. I think it's super cute, but I just don't use them. So I'll definitely be looking at how I can incorporate this 30s playtime into more of a lap quilt, I reckon. I think that's the line that I'll be going down. So let's look forward to that. I'll have a bit of a think about that one and see what we do. And then we have the Pieceful Baskets, block number 4, the double 9-patch basket block. So that looks pretty darn cute. Let's have a look there, see if I can get that nice and close for you. I really like that. This really stuck with the same sort of tones in that we have the blue basket, and then we have the little green, I guess what falls over the top of the basket, and we're really just focusing on what's in the basket, which is that change every month. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So the unfinished size is 17.5 by 17.5. So let's get started on block number 4, double 9-patch basket block. Okay, so just before we get started, I thought we might just have a quick look at the blocks that we've done so far. So I've just got these out just now. So these are the blocks that we have made so far, and I think they all turn out just beautiful. I love how this is just changed in every block, and I think it really does look cute. So we're just going to pop those away. Pop them to the side. Excellent. All right, so I've gone ahead and cut the fabric for today's block. If you don't get the sew sampler, you can go on to the Fat Quarter shop and you can purchase this pattern for a small amount. But I think it's a really lovely quilt along, so definitely it's worthwhile considering. And if you don't get the sew sampler, that's also something that's worthwhile considering as well. So we're going to go ahead. The first part that we're going to do is we're going to make some half square triangles. So we're going to grab out these fabrics and these ones like this. So on the back, when we're making half square triangles, we just want to go from corner to corner and mark on the line, because we're going to sew 1/4 of an inch either side of this marked line. So there's that marked line, and we'll do the same on the other one here. And there's our marked line. I use the friction pen when I'm doing my marking, and we'll do right sides together. And we're going to stitch 1/4 of an inch either side of the marked line. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so there is our squares they've stitched either side. So just bring that up nice and close so you can see here that we've stitched either side. We're just going to grab our rotary cutter now, and we're going to cut on the marked line. So that's in the middle, from diagonal to diagonal, and we'll just pop those to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to iron these both open. So with the ironing instructions, I think they do indicate to iron open unless they've said otherwise. So I'm going to go ahead and iron these open, and we'll be back. Okay, so we've now got those ironed open. So you can see here that that's ironed open nicely, and we're going to turn that over. What we want to do now is square up these blocks. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the line on this ruler to help me square it up. So I'm going to use that line and put that on the sew line, and then I'm going to pop that down and just trim that up. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side here. So again, using that ruler, using the guides on the ruler to help you. Pop a little bit of pressure there, not too much, just enough to keep it in place. And there we go. So that's how, just pop those aside. So we're going to square up all of the 4 blocks to be exactly like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so we've now finished squaring these blocks up. So they are now all ready to go. So we're just going to place those aside. And the next step that we need to do is to make our little 9 patch blocks. Aren't they super sweet? I think they're absolutely cute. So in order to do that, we just want to place these out, popping them there, and then we'll pop the other ones in. So there we go. So what I generally do is I will take, if you've got a design board, pop them on your design board and have that next to your sewing machine, and then just continually piece them together until you create that. The one thing to remember with this, they've said to iron open with everything, but generally when I'm doing 9 patch blocks, I'll just iron to one side and nest the seams. I find that I get a much better result. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you that once I've created both of these little 9 patch blocks. Okay, so there are 2 little 9 patches done. Aren't they ever so cute? So I'll just show you, like I press to one side so I can nest the seams, and we'll just show you this side. And the reason I do that is I find that I can get that connection much better. I feel like I can get the connections really close to on point. Sometimes it's not perfect, but I feel like I get a better result doing it that way. So I'm just going to trim these down. So we'll just pop that one out the way for now and trim these down. So I'm going to use the guides on my ruler to help me do this. So I'm using the stitch lines and the guides on the ruler, and I'm just going to go around each one and trim this down. There won't be too much to trim off, because with these small blocks they tend to, well, I feel like they shrink even though they don't. So, and we'll just get that last one there. And then you should have a block that looks like that. I tend to like to use a scant 1/4 inch foot on my machine. That way I can trim down. If I was using the 1/4 inch foot, I think it might have just come in a little bit too small. So for me, this is definitely the best way for me to do it. I'm going to go ahead and do the next one, and we'll get ready for the next step. So there are 2 9 patch blocks complete. Aren't they just gorgeous? I think they're so super cute. So they were just a little bit of a pleasure to make, and lots of fun. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start to put this block inside of the block together. So what we'll do is we'll just grab our pieces that we need, and we'll just pop these all into the right spots, and we want to, comes together really easy. I really am enjoying this quilt along, only because it's just such a cute block and it comes together so incredibly easy, and before you know it, you have your block complete. So here is our next step. So this is what we should have now in terms of, we've got our half square triangles, we've got them in a line with the green coming down this way. We've got our 2 little 9 patches, and then we've just got some blocks to help pull it all together. So what we want to do is I'm going to assemble mine in rows. So I'll go row 1 and I'll pop those together, making sure I get a lovely right angle. And you don't have to pin, these are still quite small. So you could get away without pinning, but if you wanted to, you could pin. Now, lots of people pin differently, but I always pin back from the seam edge. That way I can sew that 1/4 inch off that seam edge without having to remove the pins, and then I remove them after. But a lot of people pin right up here and they take them out as they go. There is no right or wrong way. We just do what we like to work with the best. So I'm now going to put all these rows together, and then I'll put the rows together and we'll come back. So what I've done is I've actually stitched the rows together, and I've just iron to one side. I know the pattern says to iron open, but I find when I'm going to do that nesting, I prefer to do to one side, as I've shared with you before. So I just wanted to share how I go about doing this. So we put right sides together, and then we connect those seams in, and you'll feel them connect in, and they'll get a nice little you know, it'll just feel like it's a flat, that you won't feel any gap and you won't feel any overlap. And then I'll do the next one here. So I do these first. And then what I do is I just make sure we get that right angle here and keep that nice and aligned. Pop that pin in and do the same to the other side here. And then go ahead and stitch on that line. This allows us then to stitch it along in one straight line, and we've also got those connections in, so that will gives us the best opportunity to make sure that we have that all aligned perfectly. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll stitch all these rows together. Okay, so this is what, we'll just turn that around. So this is what your block should look like. I've just trimmed that up ready to go for the next step. So we've got 9 patches in. We've got everything here is looking just beautiful, and I think that it's actually coming together quite nicely. So for the next step, we'll just pop that aside. We take these 2 squares, one is our basket and one is the background fabric, and we're going to again draw on the wrong side of the fabric, corner to corner, pop in that line, right sides together. And we're going to sew 1/4 inch either side of our marked line. We'll then trim down that marked line and iron those seams open. Okay, so these are tiny little triangles. Make sure though we've ironed that open, and then just make sure you trim that down to size, because it might be a little bit bigger than what you need. So we're just going to grab back, pop that to the side for a moment. Just going to grab a basket back, and I'll just pop it this way just so that I can see what I'm doing. We're going to now go ahead and pop these next pieces in. So we'll just like that, and then we will be popping that one in there, and that one like that, and then we're just going to, oops, don't need those 2 pieces just yet. Pop that one in there, and we're going to pop this one here just like that. So that's how our basket's going to be for the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew these 3 together, these 3 together, and then I'm going to sew this one, the top one on, and then that side one on. Okay, so we've got this piece all done, so that's the middle of our block. We've just got these last 2 to put on to finish off the handle of our basket, and then we're just going to pop the bottom part of our basket on. So in order to do that, we're going to join these 2 together and these 2 together, and then attach them on. So I'll firstly attach the side panel here on, and then I'll do the top one there. One thing to note, and I'll just show you here, I'm still ironing to one side. The reason I'm doing that is it just allows me to nest those seams just so much easier, and it is my preferred way. But I suggest that you work with your preferred way. What's in the pattern is a guide, and it's a great guide, but you can certainly do what works best for you, because that will give you the best outcome. All right, so let's go ahead, and we're now going to add these extra pieces on. Oh, this is starting to look really lovely. I'm actually really enjoying this lovely light blue floral fabric on this basket. So let's see how it turns out. Okay, so we have the basket all created, which is looking just beautiful. I love how this is coming together. The colors are just beautiful. These are just incredible blocks, and I'm really enjoying making them. So we're just going to pop this one to the side for now, and we're going to make the stand that it's going to go on. So firstly, what I need you to do is just mark a line diagonal to diagonal on your fabric, your coloured fabric, which is the same as your basket, the bottom of your basket. Or you could have done something totally different. Entirely up to you, because I think this could look great with scraps as well. Then grabbing your bigger background block and your fabric piece here, you'll just need to pop that on in the bottom corner and with diagonal to diagonal across here. We don't want the diagonal this way, we want it to be across here. Now I would generally for this here just recommend popping a pin or two in. That way it just keeps it nice and stable, and when it's nice and stable it just less chance of movement and it keeps those lovely right angles together. So what you're going to do here is you're going to stitch along this line. So we're going to actually stitch on the line, and then we're going to cut 1/4 of an inch, trim off 1/4 of an inch post that stitch line, and we're going to iron it. I'm going to iron this one open because I just find sometimes that's easier and there's no connecting seams. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so you can see here that I've just ironed that one open, and that's lovely and flat. So we're just going to pop that onto our cutting board, and what we want to do is grab our ruler and line that up from one corner to the other corner, keeping that nice and steady, and use these lines on your ruler to match up with your stitch lines. That way you're going to have that nice and straight. And then we're just going to trim that in half so that we've got 2 pieces. We're going to go ahead with that other piece that we've got here as well and do exactly the same thing from corner to corner, popping that in, and just a little bit of pressure and trimming that one in half. So we should have 2 white ones and 1 and 2 with the basket colour fabric at the bottom. So if we just bring back our basket here, and we'll just pop that on the angle, and I'm just going to have it facing to me for this moment, and we're going to place in here our basket pieces. How pretty does that look? Making sure with the background, because I'm using a white on white, we just want to make sure we have the right side up. If not, you will definitely notice, and you'll need to do some unpicking a bit later when you finish sewing and you actually notice that that's happened. It's happened to me before plenty of times. So what we need to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to join the pieces on. So I'm going to join this one here. So we want to make sure we get those right sides together, keeping those, just move those out for a moment, keeping those out there, right sides, slight amount off each side, and we'll just pop a pin in so that this stays in place nicely. Don't need to pop too many in for this. And then we're just going to turn this around, because this is the other piece. Turn this around and do exactly the same for this piece again, making sure we have the same amount off each side and popping a pin in there to keep that nice and stable. So we're going to go ahead and stitch these ones on, and then I'll stitch the other 2 on, and we'll come back and show you the finished block. And just like that, we have finished block number 4 of the Pieceful Baskets quilt along. This block was called Double 9 Patch Basket Block. I think it's turned out really well. I really love it. I think it's just super sweet. I'm really enjoying using this Corey Yoder fabric. The blocks come together so quickly and they just look so incredibly cute. I'm looking forward to the August block, block number 5. I hope you've enjoyed creating this block with me today, and I look forward to creating the next block with you next month. Until next time, have a lovely day, keep crafting, bye for now.